Testing. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? How you doing, Seisu? Hope you can hear me all right. Can you hear the music lightly as well? A tiny bit. Not over Diablo. I mean, that sounds like a you problem there. You might have your Diablo a little too loud. Are you in the cow level? All right, I'll be right bacon. Be right back. We'll get this party started, if you will. Stay tuned, everyone. And the stream will be starting up momentarily when the timer winds down. Diablo totally has some hidden cow levels. Depending on which version of your game, there is a secret cow level where the cows are like elite mobs. The cow level was like an iconic, pretty much early internet meme. Or memes were memes. All right, I'll be right back. Sorry, minor technical difficulty. My camera wasn't turning on, but I think I've got it now. Yes. It works. So, welcome one and all to another edition of the Damn Challenge. Some of you may know me, but for those of you that don't, my name is Mac. I am the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is an AI-powered map-making utility and immersion tool that's available on Steam. It allows you to build maps in a snap, or roll up your sleeves and spend hours building the maps of your dreams by hand. Today's stream features maps that were entered in a bi-weekly map-making contest. The map-making contest is called the Damn Challenge. The current Damn Challenge is Siege, so I challenged members of our community to make a map of any shape or size using Siege as inspiration. And I must say, there was some very interesting entries. Excuse me. Hey, Vanyakos, how you been, buddy? So, the winner of the Damn Challenge is the map you see in front of you. Vanyakos, everyone. Please give him... Excuse me. Goodness. That coffee is going right through me. Oh my. Please give him a congratulation, pat on the back, a here, if you will, tip of the hat, because this map is stunning on several levels. And I just want to say to those of you that participated that didn't win today, your maps were also amazing. It was very hard for me to pick a winner this week, because pretty much everyone who made a map brought their A+ game, if you will. Their map making was up to 11, and I had to make a difficult decision, to say the least. But I would like to welcome you all to this stream, and start off with a positive note. We are getting very close to the Magic update. There's some things that are being fixed, bugs being patched, assets being tested. Essentially, we're in the winding down phase, getting close to the launch. I would say end of May is a very good window to kind of put in your calendars. Medic. Oh my. Oh my. So, not only is there this epic map for us to look at, but we know Magic is getting closer than ever. So every day is just a countdown at this point. As we get closer to Magic, we'll have some reveal streams. We will have more concrete launch dates. We will have teasers of all sorts. So be prepared for a wide variety of new content coming your way. I mean, I'll let you round up for this build, Yugoth. I really like the camp here. Yes, Sabricadagger, what's up? What is the question? Oh my gosh, Watchtower, don't be like that. Don't be like that. Can we just ravel in the brilliance of this map? It's stunning. Donari Debet, you just spent 60 hours on a mansion? I gotta see this. Is it up on the workshop? We'll probably check it out later in the stream if we have time. Watch. I'll show you. Take this, and we'll just convert it to snow. Dunzo. Easy peasy rice and cheesy. Took me 3 clicks there, Abracadagger. So, in Dungeon Alchemist, if you go to the Terrain tab, then go to this Change Terrain Type. If you just flip on Snow Weather instead of changing the biome, don't change the biome, just change the weather. If you change the biome, it will definitely remove structures, but if you just flip on Snow Weather, it will not. There's a distinct difference between the two. Snow Weather just throws a snow coat on top of everything. So it's the same map with just a thin layer of snow, a powder, little pow-pow on top. Turn that off, good to go. You can do that with any map. Hey, Geronimo, how you doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome, always good to have you. I hope you stay. You don't need to leave, you don't need to run. There's no reason. So, not only do we have this epic siege machine here, something out of Da Vinci's worst nightmares, you have this epic encampment. They are ready for a battle. You know what I mean? They've got supplies, impromptu, defenses, probably cut down a whole forest just to defend this area. It's a mobile fortress destroyer. The name of this map is Mountain Fortress City, but if you search Siege on the workshop, you can find it. But if you'd like, I can just give you a link really quick. By the way, I want to welcome everyone from all the various platforms here today. If I'm not mistaken, we have people watching right now on Twitter, Trovo, Facebook, Steam, Kick, YouTube, and Twitch. So I am just so excited that we're multi-streaming on all these platforms, making the streams available for everyone on every platform. And I want to welcome Steam to the stream today because this is our first time adding them to the multi-stream. Steam, I am watching your chat, so if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will do my best to try and answer them. Question, Mac, where can I download the Sky thing for my map? If you go to Steam Workshop right here, go to Browse Assets, and it's right there. It's in the most popular in the last month, but you can just search Cloud. Pretty sure it'll come up. Cloud. A mobile fortress destroyer. What anime is that from? Let's hear it really quickly. You know what? You should thank Asmodeus if he's here. Asmodeus made those skyboxes. They're very cool. You can wrap your map in a skybox and it adds kind of a neat illusion when you're in first person that it looks like there's definitely not that gray kind of above area. Looks like a real map. So this map was made entirely in Dungeon Alchemist. Can I ask you how long it took you to make this? Sailor Yugoth, because I know you're watching right now on Twitch. You said you crossed the 1,000-hour mark with this map. Konosuba, I'm not familiar with that. This here, probably, I'm guessing 10 to 20 hours build. Between the simplified assets from the workshop and just scaling up rocks and replicating them up the side, this right here, the intricacies in between all this probably took the most time, I bet. $70 hours? Holy cow. 70, my man? Wow. That's impressive. That's a lot of hours, but awesome. Honestly, I gotta say, you are becoming a master of your craft. Expert cartographer in the house right here. Look at this. We even did some destruction right here with the siege. Like something's on fire, the wall's breaking down. Pretty cool. So, the one thing to think with that watchtower to keep in mind is all curved angles are just a bunch of really straight angles intersecting with each other. When I was really young in math, we made these graph charts. It was just like a graph paper, and you'd make like a line down this way and this way and this way, and it would make like a perfectly arched ramp if you had enough lines, right? So technically, if you take enough time to rotate and angle things, they can look very curved and slender even though they're straight. Essentially what they did here was hold let's see, let's grab this object. They probably hold control or not. Nope, let me disable collisions. That's probably. So with collisions disabled and you hold control, you can rotate very fine and get it to a precise angle. Say Sue, to each their own, right? Honestly, though, this is epic. I mean, I don't think anyone can make something like this in an hour. And if Sailor Yugoth is willing to put in the time and effort to make such a beautiful map, more power to him. Dang, Watchtower, your map was really cool, I must say. Thank you, Sinister. So I'm watching Steam chat on a separate window, and Sinister XXX just said, that map looks awesome. So just so you know, you have fans on Steam. Sailor Yugoth. Oh, man. So let's take a closer look at the map. Got these beautiful cannon emplacements through all the various stonework here. Lots of powder and cannonballs at the ready. The various towers are all decked out with emplacements at all sorts of angles so they can defend the whole battlefield. One thing I really like about Sailor Yugoth's maps is he uses, if I'm not mistaken, a lantern. Grab this. Yeah, it's just a Japanese lamp to make a cool window-looking structure. Very clever use of assets. Yeah, he's definitely got a whole slew of maps out there that are high quality. I encourage you to go check out his collection on the Steam Workshop. In fact, I'm just going to drop the link for this map really quickly. Steam, if you are interested, here is the link for that map. You can go check that out. And you can subscribe to that and open this map within Dungeon Alchemist because it's on the Steam Workshop. Same for anyone here. Hey, Cthulhu, how you been? It's been a long time no talk. What you been up to? Great use of the waterfall there. Wow, congratulations. Good for you, my friend. So you move one just the littlest bit away from the other so they don't glitch out? I was thinking that was the same thing, but I was waiting for your response first. So essentially, when you have a lot of overlapping textures, like these walls here, they tend to glitch out when they're right near each other. Like if you put them right next to each other, you see that little weirdness on top where it's kind of like a fractal breakdown. It just kind of glitches out for a second. So I imagine if you raise it just the littlest bit or lower it just the littlest bit, it's no longer on that same plane and intersecting. A lot of our assets have just the slightest difference in the top of like height map. Does that make sense? That would be the best approach. So I gotta let everyone know, now that it's a new Dam Challenge stream, we gotta start thinking of a new Dam Challenge theme. That I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. So what we need to do is come up with a concept for a new Dam Challenge that is somewhat focused but also open-ended. I usually like 1 to 2 words that isn't too direct, so the creator of the map has a lot of creative freedom to make something they want. Siege being a 1-word suggestion. Less than 10 hours? Interesting. That is kind of like, how could you make that theme smaller? Because less than 10 hours made is a long theme. Fallout is interesting, but it is... Here's the problem with that, Medic, is anyone who is essentially making maps for, say, D&D or Pathfinder may not have a need... I guess they could have a need for a Fallout one, but there may not be as many people interested in entering in something that's kind of fine-tuned to a certain aesthetic. Fae Trap display name, interesting. You know, I think we should wait for Fae-themed stuff until after the Magic update, because you'll have so much more Fae things, including a Fae biome. So, I like that idea. Maybe we should double back to a Fae theme after the update. Theme proposal, it's a trap. So we got some Akbar Star Wars up in here. It's a trap! Kind of stuff where the map could be interpretive of that phrase, which is pretty open-ended if you think about it. You could make it into whatever you want, as long as it implies there may be a trap. I really like this upper end of the city. Like, you really got it all planned out well. Uh-oh, I might sneeze. Excuse me in advance. World's End. That's an interesting suggestion, Andrew. Idea, library, garden, resort. So, are those 3 different ideas, Donari? And then Seisu condensed is fast suggestion into fast made map. How about 10 minutes or less? Or 1 hour or less. Something like that. Early Italy. That sounds very focused. Remember, we want it to be something that anyone can use in their own campaigns. That's why we pick Siege, because Siege is a very open-ended theme that can be used in pretty much any campaign. Right? But you won with Riftward Quay already. You can't win with Riftward Quay again. Riftward Quay is a beautiful map, might I add. It's one of my favorite, all-time favorite maps. I gotta say that today, the lovely Highland Lass submitted a map that I thought was a resubmit, and it was not. I'll show it in a bit, but we had a map I thought was a resubmission. I was like, no. And it actually was a revision, a remaster, 2.0, if you will. One moment. I just lost my chat. You're out of ideas. You don't have to be upset. We'll come up with an idea as a group. No worries. I like all these suggestions. We probably have an answer in one of them. So we had a bunch of suggestions, right? Alchemist Chaos is interesting, Grabnook. This may be a trap. World's End. I'll think on these for a moment, okay? I'll think on them. But for the moment, let's take a closer look at this map. They told me to stop playing guitar at the party. But then I was like, I said maybe. You're gonna be the one. I did not ignore many of the ideas. I looked over all of them. I read them out loud. Is that a hose? What is that? It looks like, oh, part of that, yep, I knew what that was. That's that weird, Halloween jack-o'-lantern spider-looking nightmare thing. Like a combo, wombo. Looks like a tail in this instance, yeah. These all look very familiar. Could. Yeah, it could. Most definitely. Probably is hot in there. You got another idea, Medic? Well, let's hear it. Honestly, the workshop is a great little, tool to add in your tool belt for map making. You could use Dungeon Alchemist completely without it, but looking at the maps and assets on there will only give you more options as a map maker. Inspiration, foundation, quick maps that you can use in your campaign in a pinch, assets to diversify your builds and add new, kind of spice to them. The end is near. Interesting. Interesting. I like the tiers of like the walls in the city. Definitely got some real economic divide here. As you're further back, you seem to be higher up and probably much more protected. I mean, you can always subscribe to them later if you need them. You don't need to hoard them, per se. They'll always be on the workshop unless you think the internet's going to disappear. Which, I mean, could happen tomorrow, for instance. But it's unlikely. But then you could forget they exist. What I could recommend to you is the workshop can be browsed not only through Dungeon Alchemist, but from Steam and from your web browser. If the creator takes it down. So, I'll be honest, one time I accidentally took down an asset because I was testing it on stream. I re-uploaded the same asset under the same name, but it broke so many maps. I feel so bad. While we are on that same thread of just getting mad at Mac, if you're ready, I'll give you something that'll make everyone mad at me. But you can browse the assets through your internet browser, right? And then favorite them. When you favorite them, you can always see them later. They're not downloaded when they're favorited. Or you can add them to your bookmarks, so you have both options. If it's removed from the workshop, it'll remove it from your local collection, if I'm not mistaken, the next time you log into Steam. So yeah, I retroactively ruined a bunch of people's maps when I removed like this right here, or one of these. I accidentally removed it recently and re-uploaded it. I felt real. It was this one. Or something like that. Anyway, you get the idea. Yeah, it was definitely that one, because all the others have like thousands of likes. 2,000 plus favorited, that helps. Display name. I do wish there was a way to make them more optimized, but unfortunately, because they're user created or just user shared, people will download them from like third-party websites like Thingiverse or Sketchfab and upload them and then, you know, share the Creative Commons links or properly credit them usually. I would say 99% of the time they're properly credited. And when they do that, then the model was made by someone else, shared by someone else, and it wasn't optimized, decimated, shrunk down, or, you know, made better for DA in any way. It was just added to the DA workshop. And think of every asset like a mod for DA. If you add 700 mods to DA, it's going to start acting a little wonky and running a little slow and sluggish. And some of those mods could be hundreds of megabytes, which means your RAM has to load that before DA can load with every map or when you load DA. I highly, highly recommend only subbing to assets as you need them. Build your map, save it, upload it to the workshop. That way you can always open the map later, and if it needs assets, it'll prompt the download. Now, there is the outlier where assets may disappear, but I do think that is kind of an irrational fear for the most part, unless they're like a stolen copyrighted asset. I hope I didn't upset anyone. I just think, statistically speaking, it's only happened a handful of times. Steam, I gotta say, if you are watching right now, feel free to say hello in chat, ask questions. Let it yourself be known. You're more than welcome to lurk as well. But these streams, I'm here to answer your questions and provide support. Consider it like an AMA format. And just want to say welcome to each and every one of you. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. So if you're tuning in and you're learning about Dungeon Alchemist or you're checking out for the first time, it's a great place to be. Okay, Mac, to link my Hero Forge account to DA, do I have to download digitally before linking it? Download what digitally? No, you would not. There's a video I have that you can... that should post something. So, that tutorial guides you through the linking process, but keep in mind, if you have a Hero Forge account and you've made a ton of tokens, if you haven't purchased them or like bought them in any way, shape, or form as like a 3D digital model, then it will not import to DA. You must purchase them from Hero Forge for them to link to DA. Hey, Medic, you're welcome. Hey, thank you for being here, and you're welcome back anytime. Appreciate you hanging out. We were just about to jump into a new map, but I totally understand that you gotta take off. We'll see you later, my friend. Okay, so let's check out a few more of these maps. Watchtower. Yeah, 3D digital. It didn't let you paste the code in DA, like you couldn't just Control V. Are you on like a laptop, a desktop, Windows, Mac? Let's hear more about your computer. Definitely has like a Mad Max or Warhammer vibe for sure. Dito, the code is private to your account and it's buried in your account profile info for Hero Forge. That video link I shared above, if you follow that, it'll guide you through where to find that link or the code. You take the code, put it into Dungeon Alchemist. The code is a very private key that's buried somewhere in your profile information of Hero Forge. It isn't something you purchase, it's just a code tied to your account. Hey, see you later, Geronimo. I want to help you out, Lord Dito, but that video definitely helps tremendously. I like the road, the indentations here. Divots. Could work well for a Walking Dead or a Fallout map or a Warhammer map or even a 5e map. Works great across the board. But yeah, these little road tracks are one of my favorite details here. That and the little culvert you got going on here. Under the road. That looks dope. Using the lava lock as a gate is great. Smart. Smart. They look good. You know what? We kind of do have a Searchlight asset to a degree. We have a lantern that is a... What's the one lantern that, like... This one here. A bullseye lantern? Can't really see it doing anything though. It's not down on the ground. The light's not casting anywhere. But yeah, the bullseye lanterns do cast quite a big spread. But when they're up in the air, don't do anything. Yep. I really do like it though. That's great. Great spotlight build. So that's the launching apparatus, some pipe, and a force sphere. Earned gold, right? Got him! I really love when assets are put together to make something new and unique that we've never seen before. That's like an antenna. That's cool too. Very cool. Yes, super good. So I'm just going to let everyone know that pretty much any moment now, Seymour may be joining us. Okay, first things first, I want to share a link for the first map, because I think I forgot to share it. No, I did share it. Me too, Sailor Yugoth. Me too. I really like ingenious, creative workarounds to solve problems. Okay, I got the link for the second map. Okay, just dropped the link for this map so you can add it to your collection or check it out in your own time. We'll take a closer look at this, but I just wanted it there for everyone to see it. Maybe fun with objects will allow us to save homemade things created in DA. I could definitely see things like the variant creation making its way into DA in fun with objects. Variant creation is something we were testing the last few months. It's kind of slowed down, and I apologize. There's just been a lot going on in the background that's prevented me from focusing on extracurriculars like that. So I apologize for anyone who is interested in it. But Guy Lane, so I would say before the end of May is a safe estimate at this point. Our next update will be titled Magic, and it'll feature tons of magic-themed content. Magic objects, magic biomes, magic rooms, magic effects, etc. There will be a Feywild biome that I know of for certain, a green screen biome. Adjust the level of magic effects after they are placed. You mean like these effects? Like put them up higher? You can do that, but it takes a trick to do so. So let me show you a pro trick to raise your effects up. So there's these really cool objects in the object panel called abstracts. So I will say this, I did find a major bug in my build last week that delayed the update by at least a week. I feel awful, but at the same time, I'd rather it get fixed and not launched with that. That's my personal standpoint there, but I think y'all can agree that it's a good idea to launch with a solid update, right? Instead of a buggy one. But the devs weren't even aware of the bug. I noticed it, found it, and the bug is big. It's a big, big, big bug that'll take like at least a week to patch out. So I apologize in advance for finding something that delayed the update, but I'd much rather it release in a solid state without a bug of this nature, because it was awful. Okay, so I placed this abstract object down. I'm just going to use fire as a simple example. I'm going to paint some fire on this. Now, I can raise this object up, right? And the fire moves up. This is kind of a neat trick. Now, if abstracts are also cool because you can insert custom images into them. So in this case, I am just going to insert a blank PNG, which I have already saved in advance, which turns it invisible. And then I can raise it up or down or put it wherever I'd like. And that's pretty much still movable on that plane as long as you can kind of select that invisible area. So we could move this over to the wall and put it on that right there. Raise it up even higher if we want. You can save a blank PNG. PNGs have empty data in them where there's nothing, right? Where it can be transparent, invisible. So if you can either save it as a 1 pixel PNG or a blank PNG. 1 pixel PNGs are actually much smaller file size wise. So it's probably better to do that because it's all buried under the fire anyway. Because it's on top of something that can be scaled, it works quite well in that regard. It's tricky, but it works good. Hey, are you in our Discord display name? If you ping me on Discord, I'll send you a blank PNG file you can use. Sound good? Yeah, anytime. I'm glad I could help. I mean, you could just DM me, I guess, or you can ping me in general, or community. I guess community assets is probably the place, because that's where we share assets with each other. DA Community Assets is the channel. I'll get a link. That's probably the best space. Create a thread and then ask me. Just ping me and say, Mac, I need this blank PNG you were talking about. Yeah, you wait to change the PNG or the abstract to transparent till you have it in the right space, because it's easier to grab the image when it's a solid, plane of green than it is when it's invisible. It was a little tricky for me to move it around when it was invisible. That being said, you could always just change it to, yes, black didn't work. Yeah, I messed it up when I inserted an image. Here, I'll put in something else. No, it's like broken. Wow. Nothing is working. Interesting. Well, still, you get the idea. You know what? I'll just hurry and send you that right now. There you go. As you can see, it's clearly blank. Got one of them. Here, I'll get the other. There was 2 posts that just went up. Sent. Dunzo. Yeah, so like there's a module for Foundry, which is a pretty popular VTT. I'm sure a lot of people in here have used Foundry or have investigated it to some degree. And Foundry has a module called Monk's Active Tiles. So let's say your players step up to this place, or right here, it would automatically, you know, there's not much beyond this point, right? You could have a new map that loads as a scene beyond it. So once they pass this gate, if it's opened up, then that'll load the new scene, which has this as portion of it, an expanded area. Excuse me, I might sneeze. Ugh. The flowers in my area are starting to bloom, and there's just like lots of pollen in my neighborhood. Yeah, you could do it at a doorway, stairs, etc. Cliffs where you're moving up above them, you know, like moving up through them. Oh man, we got a lot of people watching on Twitch today. Can I just say thank you for the support? Appreciate everyone that comes out and shows up to the streams, whether you're lurking or actively chatting, asking questions, sharing tips and feedback, or you are one of the maps in the Dam Challenge. I appreciate you all being a part of our community. You are what makes the Dam fam, as I like to call it, so epic. So Watchtower, you said you took about 20 hours on this map? Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, the red kills it on this map. You can't tell me that doesn't look insane good. Oh, let's check out the oh. You know, both greens look really good. That looks pretty good too, like a Twilight. Man, pretty much all the light filters turn your map up to 11. Which is a great reminder to everyone out here that you can use these light filters on your own map, so you can quickly change the time of day, or you can add a light filter that changes the tone of your map drastically. This feels much more caustic and barren when I put a green on it versus, say, red. It feels dangerous and maybe burning, actively burning. Purple feels like maybe a magical Twilight. You get what I'm saying? You can quickly adjust the tone of a map in just a click or two. Eldritch? Yes, very Eldritch. Ah, so correct. It is a symbol of danger. It's a great way to show that this is a dangerous environment very quickly. Yes, you can adjust the brightness, you can adjust the placement of the sun, like time of day, and rotate the light around the map so it's in a different location. You see the shadows kind of rotate around the map when I do that? Garden Warfare 2, is that what you're talking about? Guild Wars 2? See, I don't know. I thought it was Garden Warfare 2. Which was it was an epic game. I never played Guild Wars, unfortunately, so I guess people would call it PZGW 2 or PZGW. It's a beautiful map, to say the least. Sadly, we need to open up another map. We have a lot of maps left and very little time. Just a little over an hour. Let's check out Hieronymo's map, because this is a beautiful entry. Wish we could have checked it out while he was still here. Another amazing entry. I feel like Hieronymo's been using this statue a lot in his builds. Isn't it a very beautiful, like, symmetrical, the color of the maps? I mean, I'm on low at the moment. With my mouse. Oh, there's a hair on the laser. Hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, that's what it looks like. He made like a custom arrangement of stuff to make like this cool, neat kind of saloon moon shape, but it is just walls under the floor. Round walls. Let's raise one up here. Very clever. Very clever indeed. It's one of those sci-fi floor lamps. Trying to figure out what's all in here. There's a few of them. There's just a bunch of them all together. Interesting. It's a very clever use of round walls for sure. Yeah, it's always fun to reverse engineer someone else's build and see what they made with it. Right? Before we know it, we'll have like cool profile art akin to like avatar icons back in the Call of Duty days and stuff. This is a really interesting, unique build style. It really does help. I mean, between watching the streams and seeing how like other people may manipulate a map or play with a map, and then also pulling apart existing maps on the workshop, you can learn so much in such a short amount of time. The workshop is chock full of maps. Let me just get a head count here. Over 8,350 maps are public and available, shared for free. You can sort by most recent, which I love to do, because you can see all these new maps that have been shared just recently. You can sort by most popular, by last month, today, all time, etc. dividing maps up like this allows you to see, you know, old maps that you may not have noticed because you weren't part of our community before. You can also search by most subscribed, which shows a lot of variation in beautiful maps. This is you, Donari? Nice. Well, thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. Very cool. Looks like an epic build if you put all these floors in one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a roof. Man, oh man, that must have taken some time. I wish it was the dam stream today. We would take a look at them, but unfortunately we're focused on dam challenge maps. It looks like he set up the trees and stuff in a way to make these really scary shadows. Am I crazy, or does that look like something is like definitely a shadow here? And I'm trying to grab that tree, but something's encapsulating it. Just looks like an evil spirit is protecting it, like an abstract of some sort. Yeah, it has to be a projector. I'm just trying to find it. It's right here. There it is. Wait a second, that's a shadow cast. No way. What? Oh my goodness, that is brilliant. I didn't know you could make shadow puppets that detailed in DA. The shadows are abstracts right here.
Wow. Cool.
That's very cool. I had to pull that apart just to see. Hey, you little burrito, what are you doing? So wrapped up. You cannot move. He just put shrunken tiny abstracts of shadow creatures in front of that. Seymour!
It's really
The little tiny lantern, little tiny terrors. Yeah, he left the chat earlier. I'm going to have to message him privately after the stream and say this is epic. But make sure you write something in chat just in case he comes in and watches the stream later. If you appreciated that cool technique for making shadow monsters. Yeah, this is Seymour. Seymour is a sweetie pie. He is, I guess you would call him like a terror doodle. He's like part terrier and part poodle. And he's all adorable and super, super sweet and handsome. He's a good boy. But he had his bath time just a bit ago, and now he's shivering. He's shaking so hard right now. He needs some warm snugs. He's a goobs boy. Super goobs boy. Being a good boy for mom? Was he good during his bath?
Yeah.
Usually horrible. Loves it. He likes to bath. We give it love. You go with mom? Go with mom. Okay. It's a bullseye lantern, not a projector. We thought it was a projector, but look at that. That is just a tiny bullseye lantern. And in front of it is these two little shadow monsters on abstract vertical panes. These are just like black PNG outlines, like clip art of shadow monsters. It is clever. I thought it was the projector at first too, after someone suggested that, and when we found this was honestly a pleasant surprise to see how this was made. Very cool. Azael, huh? He is a sweet boy. He's a good boy. Unfortunately, I get too distracted holding him and not much streaming gets done, so I need to do a little bit more streaming at the moment, a little less pupping. But yeah, Seymour makes the rounds every once in a while. Every stream or so, he'll pop in and say hello. He also is just always present once in a while, at least on our social network posts. I'll share images of him because he's a good boy. Anyway, moving on from Seymour and the puppy power. Let's take a look at this brilliant map and adore the brilliance of it, the symmetry of it. The lighting is very impactful. Those shadow monsters are great. Very cool. Turn the UI off. See the map without like all the UI present, constructing it a lot cleaner. Maybe I'll move my ugly mug out of the way too. Cartographer, how you doing, man? My cat's a bit shy. He does not come around much during the streams, which I understand because he pretty much just hides out. Oh man, I bet you that was interesting to watch. A bunch of kids just kind of getting stuck in the center of the field. I remember playing soccer at that age. There wasn't much soccer. It was chaos, exactly. You perfect word there. Yeah, there's a lot of effects in this build that really can mess with your processing power. All of these like clouds and the lighting in here can really mess it up. So, I mean, if you don't want to crash your computer, I recommend opening the map on low. So open another map on low first, save it, and then start this map up, and that should help. Another thing you can do is disable natural animations. That stops the trees from swaying, the water from moving, etc. It saves a few frames. But I like it all off-centered, though, Denari. Is it driving you crazy? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, how did I swap the top-down view? Is it a key? Paladin? Here you go. Up in the top right, you see this little icon? Do my mouse. Top right. Does anyone see my mouse at all? Where is my mouse? What the heck? Okay, yeah, there it is. If you click this icon, it switches between the various views. Top-down, 3D, 3D angled. At this view, you can click in your mouse wheel and rotate. Alternatively, you can click the camera icon and go to cinematic mode, which is kind of like a drone camera. You can fly around and get all sorts of various heights and angles. And then lastly, you can place a token and then click this eyeball, the icon as I call it. You can walk around in first person, get some cool shots this way or video. There may be a hotkey tied to switching the camera view. I'm not 100% certain. There is a list of hotkeys on our wiki. There's like 50 to 100 hotkeys in there, so it might be one of them. If not, I can ask the devs to see if they will do it. Yeah, if you go into File, Settings, so Donari asks, is there a way to slow down token movement? I get motion sick. If you go to File, Settings, First Person, You can change your field of view, which instead of being super fisheye or it's no longer fisheye. You can also disable the head bob. That's one other thing. Hit save. And when you're no longer, like if the field of view is less, the guy moves much slower. It feels slower at least. When your field of view is much higher, this is kind of like a first-person shooter gaming hack. When your field of view is higher, you feel like you're like running in super speed. So the higher your field of view is, the movement not only is wider like a big fisheye, but it feels like you're moving faster. So there's a couple things to help with that built into the tools. Enable head bob and field of view. Space. That's what's behind the door. Macton's log. Stardate 5214. I'm damn tired. I've had no coffee. No, I had a little bit of coffee, but it was not sitting well with me earlier, so I stopped drinking. I was getting some like acid reflux, so I stopped drinking it. Coffee just lately does not my friend, which is sad because I love coffee. Coffee does not love me back. Yeah, I may have to consider that. Let me shrink down this character a little bit. What's up with the stairs inside? Someone took a lot of time to meticulously build this place by hand, having stairs that match up with floors on the lower levels, so there's some kind of continuity between them. Oh, you just wanted me to go at them? Gotcha. Well, I did. It's been done now. Woo woo woo! It's all been done. As you can see, there is actually some snow here. There's no active weather effects you can do in DA, but you can do a little powdering. We do plan to add more effects with weather, but for right now, you can pretty much just add snow to a layer of snow to any map. Remember, though, Dungeon Alchemist is a map maker and immersion tool, so you could export your map to, say, a virtual tabletop like Foundry, Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, and add rain, clouds, birds, all sorts of effects using a virtual tabletop software. You can also do that for in-person play with a TV tabletop. You just export your Dungeon Alchemist map to, say, Foundry or Fantasy Grounds. The blue thing in the middle, we looked at this earlier, it is a bunch of lights from the workshop. Hold on, I gotta turn off the snow so you can see it. So it's this neat sci-fi light from the workshop. Round sci-fi floor lamp. It's actually quite small, but they made it large. And then all of this weird patterns is just the round walls that we have built into DA right now under structural round construction. So object, structural, round. You have a few different round walls. They just put like this and sunk it into the ground and made this neat little pattern. It's brilliant, for sure. The neat take. Okay. Unfortunately, though, we must move on to another map. And since Cartographer is here, let's take a look at his. Subterranean Siege. I really like this concept. Reminded me of the Underminer from Incredibles. But yeah, this is a good idea of, digging under If you can't attack them from a full frontal assault, dig under their wall or around it. Very clever approach to siege, in fact. I just gotta say, these drills are animated. You can turn them on, and if you do animated map exports, this animates with the map as well. So it can be a part of it. You can even turn on lighting with them and change the lighting, brightness, etc. So there's a few different aspects of it you can mess around with. Down, down to Goblin Town. Down, down to Goblin Town. Very cool build. So, Cartographer, how long did it take you to build this? Are these mines? So you used a lamp as a mine? Just packed it in with some hay? Boom. Not bad. You see our devs are in this. There's Wim. There's Carl. More bang for your buck. Pit mining. So that is Hendrik. They hide themselves all over in maps. Oh, we are in a cave, huh? Cool. I'm going to show you how to reveal the night sky in a cave. So you go to the terrain tools and you go to erase cave ceiling. I'm just going to do it right above this person, but I could do it across the whole area here. What this does is if this was a cave or an underground space, it exposes it to the night sky instead of being blotted out like it was before. Now the reason I did this is because I wanted to look at this. There's a W that you can kind of see right there. He just used the cave biome and sunk in. And then over here, or maybe not the cave biome, it looks like maybe desert here. Or did you change it all to dirt when you drew it? Yeah, you used the cave biome and you changed everything to dirt, huh? So essentially, if you look at this here, by the way, if you open up a map, you can see which biome it's in. So it's in cave, solid rock. So he generated it as solid rock, and then he likely painted over it with dirt to make it look more like dirt, and then carved out this space within it. And you can see the black ridges here. That definitely is light lines for a cave. Oh, no worries, Paladin. My apologies. Welcome to the community, first off. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask away. I'll guide you through it. But yeah, when you're generating a new map, you would just set it to the cave biome, set it to solid rock, which would be all rock, and then you can just paint over it with dirt if you want it to look like this. And then you can actually carve into the cave with the carving tools that we offer. So in this tab here, when you generate the map, it'll just be solid, and then you can start carving into it. So I'll give you an example. It'll look like this, and then you can, carve it out and make it look like it's dug in. But yeah, the minor details that you can put in by hand or change yourself that the AI can't supplement itself, it can go a long way to making a map look very, very different and stand out from the crowd. Because the AI does a lot, but it can only do so much, and it's not a mind reader. You know what I mean? I really like the tracks, too. That probably took a hot minute to get just right. Yeah, welcome to the Dam fam for sure. Paladin, these streams are basically all, think of them all as AMA format. So during the stream, if you have any questions, you can ask away, and I will do my best to answer your questions, provide live support. Typically, though, on this stream, we showcase maps that we're hosting in a contest called the Dam Challenge. It's a bi-weekly map-making challenge. We say Dam a lot on the stream because when you save a map in Dungeon Alchemist, it's saved as a .dam file, which stands for Dungeon Alchemist map. So we say that a lot on the stream. Dam stream, Dam challenge, Dam fam. So we're not really swearing. We're just kind of leaning into our branding. So moving on with that, today's maps are an amalgamation of entries to the Dam challenge, which was Siege. Speaking of Siege and the Dam challenge, we had a bunch of suggestions earlier, and I really liked your idea, Seisu. What I think we need to do is do a 1-hour map making contest. And it's going to be on the honor system, of course, because there's no way to guarantee that someone made it in under an hour. I'm just going to have to trust y'all to use your best judgment and to be truthful and to follow the spirit of the Dam challenge. And just be truthful to yourself and to the rest of the community. But essentially, what we're probably going to do is 1 hour or less. A fast map challenge. So the theme can be whatever you want as long as you make a map in 1 hour or less. It is a lot of pressure. A couple of weeks ago, we did a map making, about a month ago, we did a challenge that was 10 by 10, meaning the map had to be within 10 by 10 squares. So yeah, that was very challenging as well, and it brought out the most creative solutions from our community. I'd love to see what people can put into an hour-long map. Another positive of that, being an hour or less, is it's very little commitment. You've got 2 weeks to make a map in an hour or less. So you could definitely, I could love to see a lot of participation in this one, because only an hour. All you need. So just come up with a little plan of what you want to make, and then follow that plan. No, that's map making time. So you want to probably come up with a plan for your map before you start making it. I know some people's map making process includes staring at a map blankly. I guess I wouldn't call that map making, but once you start building, maybe have like a little timer on your phone or, like an egg timer or something that you can set, and then when that timer goes off, you're done. I would say, yeah, 1 hour from clicking whatever you generate as your biome. So if you generate a biome, you have 1 hour from the time you click generate to make a map and save it. That's your entry. I think, that's an interesting entry concept, and it'll push creativity to its limits. And I do think usually when, necessity is the mother of all invention, right? So Maybe people will come up with some very creative, cool maps in an hour. Oh man, that'd be very cool if you recorded your build for a time lapse. But I won't require it. I won't require it. Actually, Windows has recording built into it, and it's had it for years. I would just say let's keep it to one entry. That should be the standard across all damn challenges. I know it's fun to enter multiple times, but with a 1 hour deadline, people could put in 10 entries, and that's essentially 10 hours of map making if you think about it. So let's just keep it to 1 hour, one map. The theme will be 1 hour, but by Monday I'll have it updated and shared in there. So take the weekend off, everyone. Think about what you want to make for your map. And then on Monday, after the morning stream, I'll post in Discord in the Damn Challenge channel a congratulation message to the winner, Sailor Yugoth, and then the new theme and all the information around it. See, I grew up before the internet, but the internet came out while I was growing up. I'm like right in the middle, smack dab in the middle. Hey, see you later, Watchtower. Hey, Geronimo, dude, I gotta ask you some questions about your map. Holy cow, the shadow puppets were very cool. I thought that was incredibly clever, first off. Top notch. How long did it take you to make? So, if you're an original D&D player, that means you're incredibly adaptable, right? Because you've survived all this time playing D&D and going through countless campaigns and hours and characters, and I think you should, I think you could definitely teach an old dog new tricks, is what you're telling me. Last build with 10 hours plus? 2 computer habits, fair. So Windows actually has built-in screenshotting tools and recording tools. If you type WinG, it'll bring up the game bar, which you can record with built into Windows. You also can hit Win-Shift-S to do a screenshot. But you don't need to do that. You have built-in recording options in DA if you want to record anything. Of course, if you're going to record the whole map-making session, this will not work. But I'm just letting you know you have a few options if you're interested in knowing about them. Yeah, the shadow puppets were brilliant. In fact, Geronimo, really quickly, actually, you know what? We'll keep looking at Swedish Cook's map for a few minutes, and then we'll jump back into your map, because I want to look over it again and ask some question. I pulled apart a tree just to see what you did, and at first we thought it was a projector, the image projector where you can put an image in, it just plants it on the wall. The fact that it was tiny little abstract shadow puppets and the bullseye lantern was insane. I was like, how did he get these brilliantly edged, shaped shadow puppets on the wall? Spent like 5 minutes pulling apart the map, figuring it out. Very cool. The Siege of Camp Vindicate. Cannons can't clear the walls. The mortars aren't properly angled. Uh-oh. They don't really shoot very high to begin with. Kind of got a weak little launch to it. Yeah, I know, Swedish Cook. I'm just giving you crap. The ones that I animated disappear. They don't stay on the map. They disappear after a few seconds. But these ones here, there are independent ones, so you could put them all over the map. By the way, pro tip, Paladin, if you hold shift when placing an object, it automatically duplicates it. So you could just leave a bunch of like cannonballs around if you wanted to. Or any object for that matter, you can rapidly duplicate it by holding shift as you place it. So let's do that with the cannon. And I'm doing Control Z to undo the placements so they just disappeared. Alternatively, you have the object brush and eraser, so you could like quickly erase entire objects using this tool, or paint entire objects. So let's say you wanted a bunch of rubble or bones, etc. Yep, so if you changed its... Well, depending on the object, it remembers almost everything. Some objects, it'll auto-rotate it based on the object properties. Like, some rocks will auto-rotate when you copy them, but others will keep the same orientation, size, and height, when you duplicate them. So let's say, just as an example, I'm going to disable collisions, and I'm going to raise this cannon up. Rotate it like this, and then I'm gonna duplicate it. And they're all raised up in the air now. I'm gonna shrink one now, and then duplicate it. They're all... Oops. Duplicate that one. They're all shrunk now. And they're all still at that same height. Raise it up again. Duplicate some more. You get the idea. Control Z to undo all this nonsense. Done. Fixed it. Would be cool if I could get all the cannons to fire simultaneously. Unfortunately not. The save doesn't keep the undo queue. Once you open a new map, the queue starts over. And even if it's a previously saved map, the queue starts over. It will not remember all your work order from a previous build that you opened or closed after that you closed. So it essentially remembers it while it's open. It's a worthwhile concern. You can always rely on Swedish Cook to like build the interiors of spaces. Like, up really good. Fortunately, the staircase isn't coordinating with me, but I'll make it up nonetheless. Hey, we can actually hit the mortars from here. Parkour. Oh, what? Fell through the arch. That would have been epic. Real question though, Swedish cook. Oh, there's Eliza. Creepy. Where did you hide your image? Your watermark. There it is. Yeah, the little tactic table, right? The tactician war room table up there. The nice addition. This is great though. It just shows like a impromptu battlefield, you know? So maybe the leader is over here strategizing, coordinating offenses and defenses. Yeah, Swedish Cook will always hide little stuff like this in his builds. Like lots of little details. Including his... Yep, some orders, the little stamp on it, right? It looks like some orders for sure. Very cool, my friend. Very cool indeed. I like the hay here. Great use of the floor tiles. The floor tile hay looks so good. Nope, you can make a map of any shape or size, any theme you want, other than the theme just has to, you just have to use 1 hour or less to create it. You know, we have a paper stack and you can put custom images on top of it, Denari. So like something like this. A lot of these, first off, you have parchment, right? Some of them are customizable, some of them aren't. Like this one here. You can put a custom image in this. Just gonna put like some cat paw prints on. Oh, that did not work. Weird. Broken. Try this one. Huh. That is broken for sure. Like the edges of the PNG aren't showing up as blank. I gotta tell the devs about that. That's interesting. But you should be able to do this with most of the other... Nope, even that one. Weird. Huh. This is like the public build. This is not the dev build, so that's definitely weird. There's also this parchment here. Hold on. Parch. This, where is it? This one right here is customizable as well. So that one's working, but the other ones are not. I'm gonna have to report those other ones. That's interesting. So stack of papers is not working when you insert a PNG. It's just black, which means it's thinking the whole thing is solid black. But yeah, you could put like orders or something on this, a note, a message. Also, the wiki does too, Dag. So you could drop, if you type wiki in chat, it'll link to the wiki. Either or. I like the barricades here, Swedish Cook. Just using the VAT support as like the notched barricade beams. Very cool. Okay, I gotta go back to this map really quick and just, we're gonna take a closer look at a couple things. Because Geronimo is back. While he's here, I want to, you know, get his in really quickly. Oh no, the shadow creatures are gone. What? I'm so confused. Oh, I went low. That's right. So I just got to commend this really quickly while you're here, because you weren't here when I was just checking out your map. I love this. It's because it has dynamic lighting at high def, or in HD, true dynamic lighting. I just think it's a very clever idea. Did you stumble across this on accident, or were you like, oh, I gotta try it, and then it worked as well as you thought? Because you could see shadow creatures seemingly all up and down the mountain. It's intense. It's terrifying. We do have one more map to check out before the end of the stream. So after this one, we're going to open up another one. Shadow Assault. I also really love what you did here. The just a lot of rounded walls to make this beautiful symmetrical shape. And the little sci-fi lights underneath. To be honest, it would be cool if we could have something like this in DA that casted like different, interesting terrors or shadow terrors or something like this, and you could just change between them. Is this a Temple of Saloon? So I'm assuming it's Shar versus Saloon here, kind of situation. I just saw the crescent moon and I had to ask. Well, I'm glad you came back because I had a couple questions about your map and I just wasn't sure. But I really love this here. This was clever. At first, we thought you used one of those, what are they called? The magic lanterns? One of these bad boys, the projectors. Because you can put, like, a custom image in it. But it's nothing like that, you know? Oh, it's way up in the sky. How did I do that? There's like a ton of invisible objects near here that I just can't grab. It's like the clouds. At first, this is what I thought you had done with something like this. With just the shadow image just cast in it. Oh, anyway. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Thank you for sharing this brilliant map, my friend. Much appreciated. Okay. Highland Lass, are you here right now? I knew you were here earlier. Just gotta ask if you're still watching or just lurking. But I gotta say, I really love the remaster of this build. Because I remember the original one, and it was just a triumph. And then you've updated it with all the effects and redone the longhouse. Ah, too big. It's stuck. Lovely little second floor room up above. Definitely Viking vibes. By the way, we have a few new like shingled roofing that are like default built into DA objects. So you don't have to use the lich gate anymore if you want to, add a roofing quickly to a building. You do have some options now besides lich gates. There is a kind of a spindle roof here. Shingled spire, and then this shingled roof. Kind of does have an Edoras vibe. I believe originally she was kind of vibing it off of that, but it might actually be based off an actual dig site. A lot of times, Highland Lass will base her builds off of actual archaeological sites in like in England and Scotland and whatnot. Like she did one that was like Skara Brae before, and a few others. So this could very easily be based off of an existing, like, archaeological site. It doesn't say it's tied to an actual thing, but it's based off of hill forts, like old-style hill forts. Gotta love it. As you can see here, there's some siege engines down at the bottom, laying waste. The superior siege engine, of course. Trebuchets. I feel like there's a secret entrance here, like a cave. Oh, for sure. She's like lots of really cool historical sites just like right in her backyard. I honestly just rewatched the Two Towers extended edition with my family. We were rewatching Lord of the Rings, and I love Edoras. I felt like it was so real because they used a lot of practical set design instead of CG for it. Like Gondor was mostly CG, right? So like it looked good, and the CG at the time was really good for a movie of that scale. But I do feel like Edoras felt so real and alive. You know what I mean? Lived in. It also, I mean, that and Helm's Deep were both really good. Excuse me. Oh, eyes are dry. Alrighty. Oh. How long did it take you to... I wonder how long it took her to remaster this. Shoot, she's not here. She's lurking, not watching right now. She's probably playing. Because I think usually on Saturday she has a game. but I bet you she spent between 5 and 15 on this. I always like the idea of a cave like system being underneath like the castle fort, like an escape, a secret option to escape or even sneak in. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. The lack of coffee is starting to catch up with me. Yep, an escape route. There was that book a few years ago, and then they made a movie as well. It was called Timeline, I think. It was like a Michael Crichton book. And in the book, they have like, they somehow like on accident came up with time travel at this like startup. They were trying to teleport items between places to like transport goods really quickly, and they ended up time traveling instead to like a very specific point in time. And it was like the Middle Ages during like the I don't know exactly time period, but it showed like a time period where the French were being sieged or were sieging the English or something, or vice versa, which happened a lot back in the day. And there was a castle that was under siege, and there was a secret entrance underneath that went through like a monastery that was attached to it that had been lost and forgotten for ages, and they were able to use it to like turn the tide of the battle by sneaking into the castle and like breaking the siege, basically. Gotta love a map with a lot of verticality like this too. You see here, you got stuff all the way around the base, encampments, siege engines, etc. They got a battering ram ready to start rolling up the hill. Man, that's going to be a pain to get up this hill. It'll probably be easier to just build it up here. But you get the idea. In a bit, I will. After we're done showcasing Highland Lass's map, we'll spend the last few minutes doing that, okay? I just want to give her map some due credit. Oh no. Stuck. Yeah, it would be nigh impossible to drag the ram up the mountain like that, unless the road had like a good grade to it. But that's doubtful. It looks very steep. If it were me, I would probably build the siege engine like right at the gate and right nearby it. Like a ram, just bring up the wood, have men haul it up, or break down stuff here that's on site, and then make one. Because there's all this nice, like, big pieces of wood used in the fort here. If you got up this far, you could very easily use it as part of the siege. Looks like they're dumping rocks on people here. That's very cool. Clever. Causing some landslides and whatnot. Barricades of trash and whatever. Yeah, it does look stuck. It's a beautiful map, though. The fire, the verticality, the defenses, the offenses. Little bit of mystery encapsulated in the build. It's great. Looks here like people are trying to sneak out or get up into the backside. Very cool. Hey, Rev, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome back. Good to have you. So if you wanted a pit to feel bottomless, as there was a question about that a few minutes ago, let me show you a few approaches. The first things first, you dig the hole, right? So let's just say, for argument's sake and brevity, that this is the hole we're trying to make feel bottomless. The simplest method, most direct approach, is to grab an abstract object like this customizable disc, make it large, make it black, turn off collisions, so disable them, and then put it over the hole, sink it down into the hole. Just above the dirt at the bottom there. So it gives off that immersion that it goes much deeper than it is. You can't see into the bottom. That's probably the most simple approach. That black color on there is not quite as black as some people want. You can insert a custom image if you want. There was one that's even darker that I just inserted, and so it feels even deeper. That's one very simple approach. Works great. You can do that with, a large square panel and stretch it across a huge amount of the map, as long as the hole's all at the same height. At the top, down in the bottom will all look very deep. So you could dig all throughout here and just make this black, and everything under it will, if there's a hole here, it'll look that way. Show you. So let's dig a few holes. Yeah, so Dam Challenge, for this, we're showing off Siege entries at the moment, but the next map challenge is 1 hour or less. So essentially the challenge is to try and make something interesting, compelling, that only took about an hour to make. But as you can see here, those were asking about the bottomless pits. I stretched that image across underneath all three of those, and they all look bottomless. Or you could do 3 individual images if you choose. So I hope that guides you through that, Denari Paladin. That's one easy way. The other is to put an effect down in the pit that is like a black smoke. This is a resource hog, I'm going to just warn you right now, and it also requires a little bit of workaround. So you can put black smoke on top of something like these abstract circles. Right? And then you can grab the abstract circle. Let's change it to black again. And then you can move it around and sink it down into the pit. It fell into the pit. And the black smoke moves, feels a little bit deeper, but it does take a lot of resources to render a map with effects and export a map with effects if it's animated map, if you're doing an animated export. So just keep that in mind. It's probably a good idea to simplify it with simple images that are like more like an optical illusion that really does the job instead. Rev, are you in our Discord by chance? I was wondering if you could DM me sometime, between now and after the stream. I just wanted to chat with you about something related to Twitch, if you wouldn't mind. That's all. Great. I really like this a lot. Cool. I mean, take your time, but yeah, just ping me when you are available and we can chat. Alrighty. It is about 5 minutes to wrap up time, everyone, so we're going to spend the next 5 minutes doing so. We're going to wrap up answering any last minute questions and thanking everyone for being here. Again, my name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. I appreciate each and every one of you that participated in today's stream. Whether you were actively participating in the damn challenge and had an entry today, or you were watching across the various platforms where we were live today. We were live across 7 different platforms simultaneously: Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Kick, Trovo, and Steam, all at the same time. That we're doing this so we can be available to more of our community simultaneously on the platform they prefer. You know, many people just buy Dungeon Alchemist on Steam and that's the end of it. That's all they interact with it there is, you know, through the forums there and the discussions there. So we're offering streams there now. Twitch has kind of been our mainstay for a couple years, so we've been growing steady there, so we get really regular support from Twitch. I really appreciate the continued support. We've been getting lots of viewership, though, from YouTube and Facebook, alternate platforms that are kind of new to the mix. So I do appreciate the faces that are new to our community that are showing up on the alternate stream platforms. Thank you very much, each and every one of you. I would like to remind you that our next damn challenge is 1 hour or less. What that means, very simply put, is I'm challenging you to use an hour or less of time to make your next map. So from the time you hit generate map till the time you save it and share it in the damn challenge, it should be 1 hour or less of work. I can't really, you know, look through your damn file to see that it took an hour or less. There's no like metadata for that. But I'm hoping that you will use the honor system, challenge yourself, and try to bring your A game and, you know, bring a map that is obviously an hour or less of work if you want to participate. You have between now and the 10th of May to submit an entry to the damn challenge, so plenty of time to build a map that's only an hour or less of time. Unfortunately, Dag, there's no effective way to do a giveaway across all platforms easily at this time. So we put all giveaways on hold through the stream number giveaways. But if I can come up with a solution that includes all platforms equally or easily, then I will do it. The problem is, like, platforms like Steam and Twitter are a little bit withholding and don't let you, like, say, message from this tool I have, so a bot can't work with it. Chat bot can't work with it. So it's problematic. It becomes, I'm excluding people because of the platform they're on at that point if I'm only offering giveaways, say, on Twitch. So at this point, all giveaways based on stream viewership are on hold. We may end up just doing more giveaways in our Discord and across our social network platforms to compensate going forward, which we have been doing regular giveaways now going for the last couple of months. We did game mats, some Kraken mats, which actually a lot of the people who entered and won actually just got their mats this last week, so I've been very excited for them. I have another giveaway in the works that is a custom Dungeon Alchemist dice set and these dice trays, or a dice tray and dice pouch that is actually a Dungeon Alchemist map that's a 2-sided map. So I have the map tray thing, but I'm waiting on the dice. They're hopefully within the next couple of weeks. We'll get those. When they show up, we'll be doing a cool giveaway on our Discord that'll include everyone. That'll have those items in them. But this dice tray is fabric and snaps in the corner, but it has some cool little maps on it that were made in Dungeon Alchemist. So on the side, on one side, it's got a tavern, and on the other, it's got a little cave encounter. So you can essentially use this quickly in your, your in-person games, or just use it as a dice tray. I think it's a neat idea. And then the person who made the dice tray also included a dice pouch that is made out of remaining fabric from the stuff they had there. So, little bonus. Very excited to share those with the community when the time comes. We're just getting very close to those dice. We're also getting very close to the next update. I'm just going to say probably before the end of May is looking very optimistic at this point. They were looking to do middle of May, and then I found an awfully huge bug that basically set us back a week, maybe even more, so it might go towards the end of May, is the tentative launch at this point, unless I find more bugs in my testing. So, you know, my bad. You can hate me all you want. And I apologize for that. I just, you know, I like playing around in DA and looking for bugs to make sure there isn't anything that would cause you, the end user, problems. So, in the course of that, I routed out something kind of way broken. Yeah, it is better that we root out big bugs now. The asset team, the artists, are essentially testing all the assets right now. There's a list of like 600 assets from the next update, like 580 to 600 assets, and they're all being tested one at a time, and there's a rigorous testing list we have now that's like, you follow step A, go to step A, do this test. If it passes, go to step B and C. If it passes, go to D, E, and F. You have to like do all these things to see if it works. Is it named correctly? Is it spelled correctly? Does the art look good? Does the art spin good? Does the asset place good? Is the asset missing any textures or surfaces? Oh, I'm sure you would have found it day one. The thing is the devs didn't notice it because it was only in my build that was a more live build than theirs. So my dev build was like a more up-to-date live build that doesn't play the same as their dev build in Unity. And so I noticed this bug, and they're like, we don't see it. And I'm like, you guys need to look at this. It's bad. I can't shoot any teaser content because, like, a lot of objects were broken. Like, half the objects in DA were missing surfaces or invisible. And Carl looks at it, and he's like, oh, this is really bad. And he starts researching it, and he's like, yeah, this would have been on launch. Everyone would have had this. Yeah, so some objects just simply cannot be scaled. So for instance, objects that attach to a wall, for instance, or like objects that sink into the ground like a well or a pit. Things like these that attach to the ground and have a hole, they will not allow you to scale them. There are kind of ways to get around some objects currently, but not all of them. So if you go to structural and you place a freestanding wall, which are walls that can be placed at any height, they can be rotated, resized, sunk into the ground, etc. So you place one of these bad boys, then you go to, say, a wall-mounted light. Those will only mount to a wall normally, but guess what? This is also a wall. So it'll snap on there. Once I've disabled collisions, I can scale up this wall, and it happens to scale up the object attached to it. So that is one way to work around objects that can't be scaled, but it only works with wall-attached items at this time, not ground-attached ones. Yeah, certain objects just cannot be scaled. And it's because they either lock into the ground or mount onto something and need a fixed size. I wouldn't say that's the case with all fireplaces, but yeah, for the most part, they like fire itself. But no, the hearths cannot be rescaled. You mean like wall-mounted pictures, like paintings and stuff? I mean, literally, the trick I just showed you could work around that, if I'm not mistaken. So you just got to snap the picture to the wall. You got to make sure that collisions are on when you do it, okay? Because then the painting will snap to the wall. You feel it, it just pops on there. Then you disable collisions. You can scale it up. Now you have mega painting. That trick essentially works for all wall-mounted objects, correct? I don't know how to do it with the floor-mounted ones, unfortunately. There is a way to do it with DAM file editing, but it'll break your map hard if you do it. I've seen people mess with resizing objects like that, and it puts a permanent black like hole in the map that doesn't have any graphics or textures. So you kind of do it at your own risk. Like in this map here, I totally resized the granary, or the grain, like grinder. The grain wheel, or whatever it's called. Yeah, I can't provide support for it or guide you through how to do it. And if you mess up your map doing it, you do it at your own risk. You kind of are at risk of messing up that particular build. But this particular grind wheel, I'm pretty sure I rescaled it down to the minimum size I could before it started breaking the ground below it. Like, if I made it any smaller, the ground would just have a big black square under it, and it wouldn't go away. At least I feel like I rescaled it. Maybe in the end I stopped and didn't do it. Alrighty. Time to wrap up the stream, folks. I had a tremendous amount of fun hanging out with you. I appreciate each and every one of you that submitted maps for the DAM challenge. Those that participated in chat, whether you were lurking or actively chatting, I appreciate you as well. Thank you for being here. Remember, the next DAM challenge is 1 hour or less. So challenge yourself to make a map in 1 hour or less as your submission. You can make anything you want as long as it took you an hour or less. And if you think up your prep time, like drawing it up or draw up a plan by hand on paper before, that's not part of the map creation time. So from the time you hit file, new map, and generate a map, hit create, that's when the timer starts, okay? Yeah, take the weekend to think about your design. In Discord, I'll post in the DAM Challenge channel congratulating the previous winner and all the info about the new theme. Afterwards, you can start submitting entries in the DAM Challenge channel in Discord. In that channel, pinned at the top, is a pin that shows the rules for submitting your entry, just what you have to do to submit your entry in the channel. Other than that, that's pretty much it. If you win, by the way, you win a $10 Hero Forge gift card. Your map is the first map featured on the DAM Challenge stream, and your map is promptly featured in the Cartomancer Chronicles the following Monday. So it gives you a lot of eyes on your map, a lot of downloads, a lot of interaction with your builds. Appreciate each and every one of you being here, DAM fam. Again, my name is Mac. I am the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is an AI-powered map-making utility available on Steam. It allows you to build maps using the AI to generate environments or rooms in a snap, or you can roll up your sleeves and build maps entirely by hand. AI be damned, do whatever you want and make it completely custom. We'll see you next time I give a damn. Mac out. Bye. In fact, we'll run with an ad break and then end the stream.
You stand before the...
1 second here.
You stand before the long, dark road to the fabled realm of Goyak Ta, and before...
What do we see?
I don't know, a goblin.
I kill him.
But before she does, I, Gilliam of Firth, demand to know the goblin's name.
Hi, my name is Woblin.
Where do you live there, Woblin?
I don't think that's relevant.
Well, but I, Gilliam of Firth, demand to seek the goblin's abode.
Clever. Find family. Kill entire bloodline. I like it.
Seriously, we're doing this?
Okay, well, won't be needing that anymore, will I?
Ever get caught by your players with your pants down? Dungeon Alchemist lets you create wonderful maps for any encounter in seconds.
Oh, Woblin, that's a very impressive cheese collection you've got there.
Yeah, it is quite impressive, yes. But you know what's more impressive? This map I have
To the fabled realm of Goyak Ta. Please take it and leave. Close the door behind you.
Mr. Woblin, I cannot help but notice that you have a secret tunnel underneath your cabinet. Care to explain?
Download Dungeon Alchemist, the AI-powered map maker, on Steam today.
All right, we'll see you later, everyone. We're hanging out. Bye.